Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Tokyo Reds with Liverpool fans based in the land of the rising sun, and it's pretty warm today, nice autumn afternoon, and we're back. Football's back. I know there's been an international break and all that, but that's not really football, is it? Let's be honest. Last week we drew 1-1 with Newcastle. Rafa Benitez, very disappointing, but let's get on to it. John, what were your thoughts on the game?
For me, it was 2 points lost. I don't think we should have drew the game. I think that, to be fair, their goal was good, but they were very lucky. It was a very lucky game, basically, and the luck wasn't on our side. But then again, it's like, is it luck when it happens every week or almost every week? You know.
Yeah.
So it was very disappointing.
Yeah, fair enough. Do you think it was 2 points dropped?
I think it was 2 points dropped because we did dominate the game. Again, we were gifted an equaliser. It was, I mean, we had more possession in terms of shots. When it got to 1-1, I thought, you know what, we'll be right. We'll just create that many chances, another goal will come. But yeah, it was 2 points dropped, but away to Newcastle, Rafa Benitez, a draw isn't the worst result, but yeah, got it not to win.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Newcastle were in pretty good form going into the game. Obviously got an amazing manager as well. It was always going to be difficult, but it is disappointing because we dominated so much. We created all the chances. Very, very unlucky. On another day, it could have been 2 or 3 or 4 even, you know what I mean? But there we go. But credit to Rafa Benitez, man. Obviously, a lot of love from Liverpool fans, obviously. But, he made Margaret Aspinall guest of honour as well. If you don't know, she's kind of one of the main people behind the Hillsborough justice campaigns, and very, 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 very remarkable woman, really. So I thought that was really, really cool, Rafa as well. But credit to Rafa as well. He set his team up to be very, very difficult to beat, and they were.
They were. Yeah.
Yeah, professional, isn't he? And, he's good at his job. I mean, he had a troubled season 2 years ago when he went to Newcastle. They got him in just as they were relegated. And I think it was just a good opportunity for him to kind of prove, that he's a good man. Personally, for me, there's no question that he's a great manager. But a lot of people question him because he went from like Real Madrid then to Newcastle, didn't it? And it was like.
The thing is, though, Newcastle is still a pretty big team. They are they're a massive stadium that you fill out every week.
Yeah, it's more their ownership issues, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's their problem.
Yeah, there's a lot of potential in Newcastle to be a big, bigger side than they are now. Certainly when I got into football, they were a huge team.
Yeah,
absolutely massive. Credit to Rafa, to be fair. However, let's talk about the goals. Our goal, what a goal it was! My good God, Philip Coutinho once again, 25 yards out, pings it straight into the top corner. Keeper had a go, but we couldn't get there at all. He had no chance. Absolutely splendid by the Brazilian.
Absolutely splendid, and it was one of those, when he has that shot, I was actually expecting him to put it across goal, go for the top left corner, but yeah, it's just
curls it in really nicely,
his position, it's beautiful to watch. And yeah, it's one of those where I say, when you've got Coutinho in the team, even if the other side, even if they're parking the box, that kind of thing, you still know from range, as long as it's him, you've got a great chance of scoring. Great goal. He scored already this season. Like every goal he's scoring, it's like, wow, that's only that one.
He's a funny character, isn't he? Because like for his size, you wouldn't think him to be banging in these like long range efforts. But like if you watch like a compilation of his goals, they're either free kicks from like 40 yards out, or that type of like cuts in from wide and then bangs. So he's it'd be interesting to see how many goals he scores from outside the box compared to inside the box.
Yeah, he scored 17 so far outside the box, which is a pretty good tally. But Rafa's got to be quite annoyed by that, to be honest. You know, the one person you don't give space to 25 yards out on his right is Philip Coutinho. Do you know what I mean? So Rafa's must have been pretty pissed off. But having said that, Klopp must have been pretty pissed off with with the goal that Newcastle scored. I think it was their second attempt on goal of the match, something like that. And it was very, very similar to the goals we conceded against Man City, where they just play a pass through the middle. The striker's completely in between our two defenders. What he's doing there, I have no idea. And the ball goes straight to him. Very, very unlucky though. Matip kind of slides in, gets the ball. The ball then ricochets off the shin of Hosselu. What's his name?
Can't say. I know which one.
The Newcastle striker. Hosselu, I think it's Hosselu. And he just kind of like takes it past Mignolet and ends up in the bottom corner. Annoying, frustrating, embarrassing. Which adjective is the correct one?
All of the above. It's interesting though. I mean, I was watching that and I think sometimes maybe we'd be better if we played three at the back, because the wide, like the fullbacks are so like wide.
Yeah.
So you know they're almost playing because they play so like attacking up the wings. So you think maybe if you had that third centre back, then maybe that would be the extra support that maybe we need. If you had someone like Lovren, Matip, and Gomez or something like that, maybe even Clavin. And
who's good? You need. Would you put Matip as the main guy in the middle?
Yeah. I think he's just.
Yeah, no, it's not a bad shout. It's not a bad shout.
But I mean, maybe that would alleviate all these goals. Cause it's like.
But then you're wondering, you know, who plays up front. It like completely changes the dynamics of the squad. Then, do you know what I mean? Because if you're playing three at the back, you know, you've got two midfielders, two wing backs, and then probably two up top, three up top. So you're losing a lot of quality.
But Chan back at centre back. but it's one of them where it's just the same thing happening every week, and maybe that's one possible solution. But
but then I just kind of blame devil's advocate, to be honest. I do kind of agree.
I know.
But Rodgers got into that problem as well, where he would try a formation, it would work for a couple of weeks, and then it failed, and then he tried a different one, and that was his downfall in the end.
His was though he'd be like 4 formations in one game.
Yeah.
I think towards the end, I do feel a bit for Rodgers because he had no one. You know, we were playing Sterling as like the striker, weren't we?
Yeah.
But at the same time, it just seemed like his tactics relied so heavily on a fit Sturridge and Luis Suarez, and it would just give it to one of them two, and we're going to score, and that's just what we did for an entire season.
Yeah.
So I think maybe in the right hands, like we saw with Conte, you could argue Chelsea's a lot better side, but you know it can work, and but then again, it's becoming very popular now, so maybe it's best not to follow the trend. And
I mean it's. All depends on the players you've got, doesn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
I think we've built our squad around the 4-3-3, and it potentially, like, you know, I think that the diamond tends to be our kind of backup formation, which is fine. Like we've seen quite good results from it. If you want to be a bit more defensive, but yeah, I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying, but it's just another fucking shite goal, to be honest.
It's one of those. I mean, it's unlucky. Like Matip, in fairness, he does just get the tackle in, but but then the fact that the player gets through on goal like that.
Yeah, the fact that he has to backtrack all that way to get, you know, that's why he doesn't get a proper connection with it, because he's had to run 5 yards before he's even attempted the tackle, and it was just basic defending again, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Anyway, so the game, it was rubbish, really, wasn't it? Let's be honest, the game wasn't.
It was frustrating.
It was frustrating.
Just very frustrating. We had a lot of chances, but we just couldn't get it in. But you know, that's the way it goes. So man of the match.
Man of the match, me, probably Coutinho. I mean, just his goal. He was trying, but obviously to Rafa Benitez's side. After he scored that goal, Newcastle almost every time he got the ball anywhere. It's like right, close him. 3 men would just come in. I thought though, in terms of like his creativity and also like his work rate throughout the match, he was just really useful. But obviously just frustrating though. So
fair enough. John?
You have to go to Coutinho. He's the only one who puts something away, doesn't he? I mean, obviously I'm not questioning the other guys, you know, ability or nothing, but everyone else was just so unlucky, and it was just.
Yeah.
But then you've got to wonder, were they unlucky, or did Benitez have his team set out in those positions? It's one of them. I don't know, but
we had a couple of chances off the line, didn't we?
Exactly,
Missed some good opportunities.
yeah, it was one of them where I think, especially in the beginning, nerves played a lot into it.
Yeah.
Where it was like, because we have that problem where we just don't settle properly at the beginning. It takes about a good 20 minutes, and we had a lot of chance in the first couple of minutes.
Storage, was going to say.
Exactly, yeah, and it just like fluffed.
I think Sturridge didn't do too badly, but he just there was times where he'd have a shot like when he tried to lob the keeper. I admire the thought, but it's like you had passes on, you could have laid it to the left to Mane and all these type of things. So it was just kind of just frustrating. I think our decision making at times was not the best. But also credit to Newcastle. They dug deep and they managed to get a point against us. So well done to them.
So good luck to Rafa for the season.
Yeah, and obviously as long as we don't want to see Newcastle finishing above us or anything, but no, good luck.
Below us is fine. The next position below us is fine.
Absolutely fine.
Anywhere below us.
Higher than Everton. So
That's not hard though, is it?
that's not.
It's like coming above like 18th or something this season, isn't it?
That's like don't get relegated and you'll finish above Everton. Okay, so this weekend, the big one. It's always the biggest one, to be honest. But Manchester United come to Anfield. The scum, the bastards, the C words, or whatever you want to, the dirty manx, whatever you want to call them. They're horrible. We hate them, but we've got to play them this weekend. Biggest game of the season, do you reckon?
Yeah. Every season, it's the first one I look for. When do we play them? Then both home and away, I'll look for them before any other fixture. It's massive. It's massive every season. Like if we're having a bad season, when we play them, if we get one over them, it's always a great feeling. Even if you're having a bad season, it's like, we did the Manx, like 2010 for example, when we did them 2-0. It's just nice to beat them. But,
it's especially this season though as well, because they are potentially title contenders, aren't they? So it's always good to kind of beat the speed bump on the way to that or something like that. You know what I mean? I die here. It's the worst game of the season for me, to be honest with you. I hate watching it. Yeah,
for me, like we've all grown up kind of on the whole getting battered by them and whatnot. But Anfield's a different thing. Anfield's a different beast. We've got a pretty good record against them at Anfield. It's the biggest game at this point in the season because there's no cup finals or anything like that, obviously at the moment. So, but yeah, it is potentially the biggest game of the season. However, if we do get a win, we catch up on them, but like quite a bit, and puts us back in that race again as well. So it is potentially huge, to be honest. You confident, Tom?
No, I'm not gonna lie. The only thing I'm kind of confident about is it may sound mad, but like statistically they can't keep up this run of form. Like
they drew a loss, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly, and
that's true.
They've been all the games have been high scoring games and whatnot, and your luck runs out basically.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they've been lucky. They've been very, very good this season. I know I can see that in your eyes there.
Sorry.
But yeah. So I think maybe they are due a loss, and if it comes, they're due a loss, we're due a win. If you know what I mean. So it's maybe
probability wise. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that could be on our side.
No, that's a good fair point, Tom. They've had a very good start to the season, but they haven't really played any quality. We're the first. The first test was Stoke.
Yeah, Stoke away. That's the first test. It was on a Saturday, not a Tuesday, which is outrageous.
Exactly. So they haven't played any quality yet. So we're their first big test. So it'll be interesting to see.
That's the thing. Like last year, I think when they came to Anfield, they were very cagey. I think maybe the first 10-15 minutes they tried to come at us, but they were so cagey last year. And I will say, okay, looking at them this season, yeah, they've had a really good start. But again, look at who they've played. As you're saying, I mean, Everton. I will say on the luck thing, playing Everton, they were 1-0 up for most of the game. If Everton knew how to take their chances, could have been different. But yeah.
Yeah.
But I think they got like 3 goals in the last 10 minutes. Or, they won 4-0 again, but Everton were just shambolic at the end of that. Yeah. Crystal Palace, who haven't scored a goal in months now.
Years maybe.
yeah, like Roy Hodgson goes up there, you do him 4-0, fair play to them, but I mean, again, you can only beat Swansea away. You can only beat what's in front of you, but that's the thing. Most of the opposition, like, you haven't really had a test. I mean, if Stoke away's been your biggest test, they haven't played any other teams.
Been an easy start.
Even the Champions League, who's in their group?
They've got a fairly handy group. They've got Basel and
Moscow, wasn't it?
CSK Moscow, and they've got have they got Benfica in there as well?
I think Benfica, but they haven't played them yet.
No, but it's tasty Greek lad, to be honest. I think anyway, but more difficult than ours. But yeah, like I say, in the league they haven't really played anybody. So that could work in our favour. To be fair, I mean Arsenal didn't really count. And City, we got battered by them.
But to be fair, we did, but it was one of them. We kind of fell on our sword with that one. It was like, we're going to lose, we might as well.
Dortmund style.
Exactly.
Do it properly, like. But maybe it's because we won top 4, and Arsenal seem to do it every season, so we're thinking, well, if we just do the same as them, we'll be alright. So why do we hate Man United? There's many reasons, but why do we hate Man United?
After John.
No? Why do you hate Man United?
Screw up on it, don't you? I don't know, it always seemed to come down to us and them. You know, and growing up, the gap was a bit bigger when I was younger. But you always remember. I remember the first final I can remember is the FA Cup one. Wasn't it 94? 96, that was it.
Cantona.
Yeah, exactly. And I can remember I always remember my mum as well. She was like, because Rush came on. She was like, "Oh, don't worry." She was like, "Rush always scores," and then Cantona scored. It's like, fuck. But I just remember being absolutely gutted about that, and then it kind of was just like stemmed after that, and they had a lot of. I don't know. I think there was a lot more passion back then. It's like the last maybe 7 years. There's been like no real heroes, if you know what I mean. Like both sides had their like hero. Like you had like. People who bled for the shirt, basically.
Yeah.
Even for Man United.
Football's changed nowadays.
Exactly, but you had like the Nevilles, you had Scholes, Giggs and stuff, Butt and stuff like. What's his name? Not so much Beckham, but what's the I can't remember. It's Keane.
Yeah.
You had these like really strong characters, and then for us, you had similar ones as well. And so you had like your heroes on both sides, and it was a big game to them.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's kind of. I don't know, it's just not the same. Like, football's a lot different now, isn't it?
Yeah, incredibly so. I think the rivalry, it's kind of weird. I think since they got taken down a few pegs in recent years, it's kind of simmered down a lot more. I think under like Rafa and when it was Rafa versus Ferguson, especially in that 2000, around 2009, 2008, when it was both teams going for it. I think that's when the rivalry was absolutely at its peak. Even growing up, because it kind of all started really. I mean, Liverpool and Manchester always really disliked each other, through the ship canals and all that. But the football wise, you speak to the older generation Liverpool fans, and they never liked Man United, but they weren't like the biggest rivals. Nottingham Forest was a big rivalry for a while. Leeds, for example, and always Everton were always kind of there as well, obviously. But like. I think, I think if Ferguson really started it. Ferguson's the one who started the real massive hatred between the two.
That's what he said, though, didn't he?
Yeah, that's what he aimed to do, and especially when they got to that point and they won that 19th league title, it just kind of hurt quite a lot. And then they got 20th as well. It's just, I really do detest them.
I'll take. So you asked me the question earlier. I really have to think about it, but like similar to what John was saying. It's one of those. I got into football in the early 90s, and one of my first memories was Liverpool winning the FA Cup in '92. I think it was Sunderland, Souness. But then when I properly started getting into it, like every match and understanding it more, I think it was actually 94-95 season. Blackburn did United to the title, which was great.
Yeah,
Everton even did them in the cup final.
That was my first real season.
I mean,
the '95 one.
Yeah.
I remember the black Premier League. Merlin, was it?
Yeah.
I remember that was the year I got into it, and I remember watching because we beat Blackburn, didn't we?
Yeah, we did 2-1 on the last
So
day,
they
United drew 1-1 on West Ham.
West Ham, yeah.
I think it was Ludic McCloskey had like the game of his life.
Well played, lad.
Nice one, Ludic,
Yeah, well
if you're
played.
watching.
Because it was Dalglish won the Premier League as well, didn't he?
At Anfield as well.
At Anfield.
But I think that was it though, it was the season after that. When United just really became dominant. And because it was around the time I was just getting into football, it was like, oh, okay, you know, I like the idea that someone could win, you know, a different team would win the title every season. And, you know, it's like any team dominates, you want to see them lose, but then knowing that extra hatred they had to Liverpool.
Yeah.
And then the whole, like, we went to Old Trafford for Cantona's comeback. No Liverpool fans were allowed. How the hell Man U were allowed to do that? Because you even hear it now, like, Fowler scored 2 great goals that day. He had his bleach blonde hair back then as well.
Yeah.
But you just hear Liverpool players, like, effing and blinding each other, like, celebrating. But I don't know how they managed to ban our fans for that. But anyway, to the point, that's the thing, they were just so dominant. And, of course, they were catching up with us in the titles. They never did us in European Cups though, that's worth mentioning. But, But yeah, it's... And also, it seemed like referees would... Sorry, I'm going on, but like, it seemed like referees would just pander to like King, for example. So like, there wasn't a penalty at Old Trafford for like 2 or 3 years at one time. Then when there finally was, it was Middlesbrough. Juninho was fouled by like 3 United players. And then Keane and all the United team were still like surrounding the ref. And he was like, no, it's a penalty. But it just... I don't know, I always felt like it just felt like
they certainly you know, to be fair, they intimidated the referees to their advantage.
Yeah,
still goes on. Chelsea do it all the time, you know. They did under Mourinho as well. To be fair, I'm kind of like annoyed that we don't do that, you know, because like it works, you know. Like we need to be a bit more horrible at times. Like Gerrard used to get involved a little bit, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, Carragher was.
Carragher was the one
and stuff like that. But probably no one understood what he was saying anyway. So,
but it's like what you said then before, John. Like we've lost those characters. Do you know what I mean? Like there's no one that
football in general just lost them really.
Yeah, it's become so diluted, hasn't it? Really, to be honest. But there we are.
The one last thing I just want to say as well is I think one thing that grates on me a little bit, but Liverpool fans as well, is the whole Sir Alex Ferguson. You know what I mean? And then they're like, it's not Sir Paisley or you know what I mean? Like, exactly. Where probably should be, to be fair, but I'm glad it's not. I'm not into all that nonsense.
No. To be honest, I don't really. You know, I in fact the best, or I thought the funniest banner that the Manx have ever bought to Anfield was like. It was like Sir Alex and Mr. Bob, Mr. Bill or something like that.
Bill and Bob, yeah.
Bill and Bob. And it just summed it up perfectly because I was like, do you know what? Actually, we probably prefer the fact that he's not a knight of the realm. Do you know what I mean? He's like, they're like proper people, not some like alcoholic, you know, Scottish mob end.
Kind of.
Just like, well, the best nickname I've ever seen for him, Goutbeak. Goutbeak. I just thought that was the best nickname I've ever seen for Alex Ferguson. But like, I mean, you know, credit where it's due, obviously. You know what I mean? But yeah, he's just not bad, didn't he? But another manager who's a bit of a prick, or a lot of a prick, or maybe even more than that, is I'm being nicer than what I wrote in my notes. Is Mourinho, Jose Mourinho. I hate him a lot, and he hates Liverpool, doesn't he?
Yeah. He does, but he just needs to get over the fact that the ball crossed the line. He
still has nightmares about that, doesn't he? I'm telling you, Luis Garcia.
The fact that we did that to them twice, 2 semi-finals, and stop him from getting to a Champions League final. He hates us, but I don't think his record in recent years is that good against us.
No.
I think it was 2 draws recently. One of his last matches when he's manager of Chelsea won a club Spurs for us. We won 3-1.
Yeah, that is true. I think he's quite worried about us in many ways, but yeah, you can. He's the perfect. When he took over at United, he was the perfect man. Someone we already hated go to a team we hate. That was fine.
Yeah. He was kind of like a less comical version of David Moyes. He was like a more like serious version of David Moyes. You know what I mean? Where He can steady the ship, basically. That's what Mourinho's coming for, you know.
Well, he does for 2 years.
Third year.
And that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm just looking forward to the implosion next season.
When Liverpool turn against him.
They'll win the league this year, but then they'll just like fall to pieces next year. Like he's done it every single club he's ever been at. So that's gonna be good to see. But yeah, no, I've always disliked it. And people are like, oh yeah, but he's funny. It's not funny. He's a prick. There's a big difference.
I mean, when he first came, he was like one of the first managers who would, you know, have a go at referees and stuff. Like he was kind of, you know, there's kind of like that unwritten rules, taboo to say bad things, wasn't it? It was like you had to be kind of sporting. Where and
he's had a lot of fines, hasn't he, because of it? But
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So when he first came in, he was more about speaking his mind, but it's kind of changed now as well. It's like Klopp speaks his mind, but he's sporting with it, if you know what I mean. Where Mourinho was just a prick. It was like when he came out against Stoke and he was like, they how am I supposed to? They beat them. Oh no, they drew. Drew. He's like, oh, they play. I've never seen a team play so defensive. It's like, well, you don't fucking watch your own games then, do you? And you know, but at that game, like Stoke were playing 3 at the back, and he was playing 4-5-1 or something like that.
I think so.
And he was playing like Matic and Herrera. Or was it Matic and Fellaini or someone like that? But he was playing like a really defensive. And he's like,
he's just not that. He's a master of like taking the attention away from his own players.
He's very clever at that.
And I'll give him that. And, you know, his man management skills are you know, really, really, really good. But yeah, he's just a knobhead. He's a massive knobhead.
He is. I just had a memory of when I used to like him though, before he came to the Premier League. Porto knocking United out the Champions League. I think Keane got sent off. They went to Old Trafford. They get some like late free kick. And he runs down the touchline and he really winds up Fergie. So I used to like him. But
I mean, but no.
No, but then, see, times have changed. But.
No, and he's not even like funny anymore. Like when he first came to Chelsea, he was quite funny and he was, you know, in an arrogant kind of way. But like now he's just like boring. He just doesn't really do anything anymore. So yeah, fuck him. Anyway, prick. So Pogba, Fellaini. Well, they're not doubtful, they're out. And Lukaku was doubtful, but maybe he is actually fit. Obviously, former Everton player as well, so he's not going to get a lot of love from Reds fans. But
his attitude, sorry, I just don't mean to jump in there, but his attitude towards Everton when he played them, celebrating, jumping and scoring, so he's not going to be got no love in Liverpool anymore, I don't think so.
No, not at all. Unlikely so, to be honest. But yeah, obviously good player and a dangerous player on his day.
Very good player. For me, he's probably their biggest danger man in this match.
Easy.
I mean, he's the one to watch, and hopefully our defence gets onto that. I'd say keep Matip close to him if possible.
Yeah.
But it's one of those. I don't think he ever won at Anfield with Everton.
No.
With Everton, maybe with West Brom, but I think
West
with
Brom
Everton,
did, Steve Clark won it with West Brom.
Yeah, flipping heck. Times have changed, but
yeah. I mean, he's big as well, and do you know what I mean? Like really, really big.
Yeah, I think the thing is with Lukaku is, I think I mentioned it in like the beginning of the season, was like one of his criticisms was he doesn't get back, but now he's in a team he doesn't have to. He's got so much service.
Yeah.
You know, all he had behind him in the last for Everton, you know, was Ross Barkley. He could link up with Barkley quite well, but all you needed to do was take Barkley out the game, and that was it. Nobody would provide any service to him. Where he's good on long balls, he's good at the ball with his feet. He's kind of like the complete forward, basically. Yeah. He's a lot faster than I thought he was, to be fair. And he's just it's, you know, if you look at him, Kane and Aguero, easily he's probably the second best striker in the league.
Yeah.
I think just his overall game, basically. I think
tally-wise, I'd agree with you. I prefer Aguero, to be honest. I think he's number one for me.
That's what I mean, sorry. Aguero's number one. Lukaku's number two.
I'd probably put Kane up there, to be honest, but maybe I'm biased. Probably am. Not asked at all, to be honest. Yeah, I think Lukaku's obviously a massive threat, but I think it all depends how they set up. I can see him being quite isolated in the game, especially at Anfield. I think they're going to sit in deep. He's going to be up the top, so I think we might be able to handle him. For me, it's players like Martial and Rashford that I'm really worried about, because if they hit us on the break, it's their pace, I think, that could cause us a lot of problems.
It's not only that, it's like Martial had the ball at his feet. He's so good.
He's good, very good player.
I think it was a penalty, was it, through the week? when they played CSK. Or maybe it was the assist to Lukaku, and it reminded you so much of that goal that he scored against us. Was that his debut?
Yeah.
And he took it around like all the defence and put it in. And he didn't have a good season last year, but he's a really good player. He's looking like he's on fire.
Dangerous, isn't he? You know, another two as well worth mentioning: Mkhitaryan, Mata, people like that. They're kind of, it's kind of weird because Mkhitaryan's a very, very, very good player. Mata is a very good player. They're kind of taking a back seat a little bit, but they've got enough quality to really damage a team.
They have, and they, in fairness, I mean that they're obviously United players, but they are great players. They do have a very strong side, and like you say, when you got someone like Mata and Mkhitaryan, and they're not the biggest threat in the team, it shows just the quality they have. But
I think though the one player that is not unsung actually, because everyone gives them enough credit, but their hero is De Gea.
Yeah,
like. If you would have went a few years ago, I reckon they would have finished a lot lower than they have done.
Oh, massively.
It reminds me of that game when we played them, and like Sterling should have had like 7 goals, but he was like almost like a Jedi.
He's won them a lot of points against us over the years, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's so good.
Yeah, the way our finishing has been recently, you do start to panic a little bit, you know. But anything can happen, you know. The cliche, the form book goes out the window and all that kind of stuff. But
we need a James Milner pen. That's one thing he can't deal with.
Yeah, exactly. Well, nobody can he? So.
No. So, do you think we should try to be a little bit more defensive in this game, or should we just go at them more?
I don't think we can. I don't think we know how to be defensive.
But I mean, we've played, you know, like we went to City last season, for example. We played like a diamond formation, kept it nice and compact, hit them on the break, scored a lot of goals, and had a good performance. I mean, it is at Anfield, so the impetus is on for us to push on. But would it not be a bad idea just to kind of sit back, see what happens, or are we just going to go flat out at them? Because I'm worried that it plays into Mourinho's hands if we just go at them.
I do worry about that too. But similar to John, I don't know if we know how to play like that.
I think we're fucked then, to be honest. I'll be honest. I just don't think if we just go at them, I think Mourinho Taylor makes his teams to handle that kind of stuff.
No, that was the thing in the 2014 match when he was Chelsea, and it just seemed like there were so many blue shirts behind the ball.
Yeah,
and they were happy to let us have possession. Yeah. So
it's one thing you got to say about Mourinho. He'll always make your manager think.
Yeah,
because he'll just like, you know, he's tactically a very, very astute manager, you know, and they'll shut up shop against us. They'll part the bus completely. 100%.
Those things, they did it last year at Anfield.
Yeah,
I think they were happy with the
Mourinho. That's what Mourinho does, but whenever he comes to Anfield, man, like he just does that, you know. And he's always had enough quality that on the break he can really, really hurt us, you know. And I'm worried about it.
That's what you really need. I mean, if he looks at our last few games, really, all he needs to do is just wait, maybe put someone like Rashford between the two defenders, and then just.
Mate, we haven't been beating Burnley. We haven't been beating, you know, all these teams like Newcastle, and it's like he just needs to do exactly the same tactic, but his team is like miles, you know, light years ahead. So I am a bit worried about this one. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I'm terrified. The one. He's not. Yeah, it's maybe even like last season. Yeah, I reckon it'll be almost a carbon copy of the game last season.
I will say this now: if we get a draw, I will be very happy. To be honest, I know it. You know,
it's like the first time this season I've been happy with a draw.
yeah. But I'll be quite happy with the draw. Just the form of both teams at the moment. But you never know, man. Like we might just get. I've seen it in the past where Liverpool have like not been in good form, and then this game comes along and everyone kind of gets that sort of.
The problem though, maybe this is devil advocate. We're not in bad form. No. That's the mad thing. It's like we're not playing badly, we just can't score.
Yeah, results haven't gone our way.
Exactly. Yeah, and you know it's like the Newcastle game. We were unlucky. Spartak Moscow. Spartak Moscow. You know what? We had like 20 shots or something.
Sevilla.
Like that. You know, I know we dominated these teams, but
even the loss at Leicester, wasn't it? In the cup.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like we
played well.
We haven't had a really bad performance, even against the City game. We knew that we were already a few goals down, and we had to try to get something out of it. And I'd rather watch it. Well, I wouldn't want to watch it anyway, but I'd rather watch us 5-0, get battered 5-0 with 10 players, trying to go for a draw. You know, so we're not terrible. We just we just haven't kind of. The players really haven't just. You know, we've had a lot of people out injured. Now Coutinho's back, and he hasn't clicked as much as we wanted him to with the front three, and we've played a lot of the games. So I think we're a lot better than we give ourselves credit for.
No, yeah, that's fair.
Well, I was going to throw in as well. I think the last 24 matches we've lost 3 games.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of draws there, but we're not actually getting beat. That's the thing. It's draws. It's draws that are laying us down. But I think Liverpool are a very difficult side to beat now. And I think the fact it's at Anfield and the fact that we're actually underdogs is going to go in our advantage.
I always find if the crowd are going mental, so often it helps that attack click. Do you know what I mean? It just kicks into place because a lot of it is confidence.
Yeah.
Attacking. Yeah. You know what I mean? Scoring goals. A lot of it is confidence. So if you get it, you've got that extra. You know, the crowd gives you that extra 5% that you need to get the ball over the line. So that could very, very potentially happen, and hopefully it does. You go either way, couldn't it? Really, it's very hard to predict this game.
I'm just going to jump in. When you said about the crowd, it reminded me if David Ngo scores a 94th minute winner against Man United. I think the crowd had a lot to do with that. But
that's true. That is true. That is very, very true. But
sorry.
It's going to be difficult, though, isn't it? It's going to be difficult. So the starting lineups kind of writes itself at the moment. The midfield's quite tricky to call. Coutinho gets in there straight away. Henderson obviously gets in there because he's captain. It's Channel Wijnaldum, really.
For me, it's Wijnaldum.
Yeah, me too. Wijnaldum.
Yeah.
Wijnaldum. I just think he's just more reliable.
Yeah.
I like Chan. I think Chan, you can probably get more like. It's more like you get a goal with Chan, but Wijnaldum.
Wijnaldum just likes scoring at home.
But with Wijnaldum, it's more you can get a kind of very good performance out of him. I think he's quite consistent in his performances.
Yeah. So if we go with the back four, like the full-backs as well is obviously quite a big. Is week in week out. Is quite a big call. Robertson or Moreno at left back, or Trent Alexander-Arnold, or Gomez at right back. Start with the left backs. For me, I would go with Moreno. I think it's wrong to drop him at the moment. I think he's been the most consistent defender this season, to be honest.
He
has. Is there any argument to be made for Robertson or even James Milner?
I think Milner's great, but I think unfortunately, like you're saying about Rashford, Martial, and Lukaku, the pace those guys have got. Yeah. Milner, I love him, but he wouldn't be right left back in this match. Robertson, again, I've been really impressed with him. Yeah. But Moreno, like I say, that he's done nothing wrong to be dropped. He's been consistent. No. He's going to be useful when we're attacking them, and at the same time, again, defensively he's got the pace if they're running at him. But I would second that with Moreno.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I think it's unfair for anybody to get dropped to be playing as well as he has.
So the right back's the difficult one, I think. For me, it's Trent.
Yeah, if he's fit,
I would play Trent. Gomez has done very well there too, but I just think we need to score the first goal in this game. We need to get an early goal, and if you've got your two most attacking full-backs playing, then I think you've got more of a chance of getting that first goal. But the first goal is so massive in this game.
Yeah. They get it, then they shut up shop, and then.
Exactly. So I think we do need to go first 15-20 minutes. We need to fly at them with absolutely everything, and then kind of see where we are, kind of settle down. Try and take it to half time, and then see where we go in the second half. But for me, for those first 20 minutes, we want those two rapid. Just pace, and hit them. And hope for the best, and hope De Gea doesn't save every shot that we put on target.
Or it takes some wicked deflection.
Yeah. So I would start with Trent and Moreno, fullback. I think that's fair enough. But if Gomez starts, I'll be fine because I think he's done well. But I think Trent's got the pace, like you say, to kind of keep up with their wingers as well.
Yeah, I would second that as well. Like Moreno and Trent, just say the pace and also their attacking credentials. I think they're essential to start.
Trent's not. He didn't do too bad, considering he was against Ibrahimovic last year.
Last season, yeah, and he was fresh out the factory right there, money. So he's got a lot more experience now.
Ibra obviously he was like 35 at the time, but he's an experienced. He's one of the world's best ever centre forwards. You know what I mean? So he's to go toe to toe with him.
Yeah,
I think
it's not ideal. You still prefer Kleiny, like,
but you can't. So
you can't blame him.
I hope Clavan is nowhere near this game.
Yeah, me too. Sturridge, Firmino.
Firmino's
100 times. It's got to be. Firmino's fit. He's just it's got to be him. Sturridge is good, but I just think he's kind of gone now. As far as he's better. He's so much better as a sub than he is as a starter.
He's like Solskjaer, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's just.
It's sad, but.
It is, but I think it's more like the game we play now as well is not really the game that suits him, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, if he's getting all the service, then he's a lot better striker, but if he has to rotate and stuff, he doesn't do as well. He's still great, but he doesn't do as well when he has to change between, like how Firmino and Mane, they just seamlessly change between each other. He just doesn't do as well. Maybe as well he hasn't had the chance to play the system a lot because he has been injured quite a lot. And, we don't know if he's training with the team or something like that. You know what I mean? So, but Firmino has to stop.
Yeah. For me, I'm a bit worried about his midfield really because you got Matic, and I guess Herrera will be there as well, which is not a bad combination. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can just crowd them all out. Wijnaldum and Henderson's movement will. Do the business. So yes, scary one. Score prediction, John.
I'm going to try and be very optimistic, and I'm going to say score draw. I'm going to say 1-1. And that's I don't know how it's going to go. It's kind of like thinking about getting a tooth pulled or something like that. It's going to probably be painful to watch.
Yeah.
But if we get a draw, I'll be happy.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think it's just going to be a bit of a scruffy game.
Yeah.
To an extent.
Yeah. I want to be up for it. I want to be more up for it.
Yeah, so do I.
But it's more upbeat. But
it's just like
England's fault, I reckon, because England just made us hate football.
Not only that, I was thinking maybe it's like a jinx, right? So before we went off for Enleys, we were in good form, then we were shite. Now that maybe we've gone back, it's kind of switched the mojo again.
Maybe. It's a big game as well as at Anfield. Crowd's going to be rocking. Players are going to be up for it.
I think it comes down to they've been taking their chances, we haven't.
Yeah. I
don't think there's.
But they've been playing against shite as well.
But yeah, exactly. You know I think that's what it comes from. If you look on paper, if you look at the results, then you're like, oh, they've been dominating, they haven't. It's not the case. So I think. My problem is I'm just thinking about all the results and not so much the performances.
Yeah.
And even with United, I'm not really looking at the performances. I'm just looking at the results, and it's like you say, Man United, they weren't great against Everton. They weren't great against Stoke.
No.
It's just there's a lot of complementary score lines there.
Yeah.
But it's every year I'm the same with Man United. It's because I hate to lose against them. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's horrible losing.
Yeah.
It pisses you off for like a week. You know what I mean? Maybe a bit longer.
Yeah. Okay. Tom, you're gonna bring us all up now. I don't know with a good score prediction. What are you saying?
I think we'll win, but I don't think we'll hammer them. Unfortunately, I think I went like 5-1 last year. So turned out to be 0-0. Who would have thought? But I think we'll win, but the reason I think we win is just because like Salah, Mane, Firmino, Coutinho, I think our attack will just put that much pressure on them, and we're at Anfield. Obviously, tactically we've got to be careful. Tactically we've got to get it right. We can't leave ourselves exposed. But I think we'll just have enough. So I'm going to go for 1-0 Liverpool. But I don't think it'll be a pretty game. But I mean, in all honesty, with the exception of the 4-1 at Old Trafford in 2009, I can never remember watching Liverpool Man U and thinking, oh, that was a really attractive game of football. It's normally it's so cagey in the midfield. I always say I love the rivalry, but sometimes the chanting between both sets of fans. I know it's less and less now, but something toxic.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
like,
I've never really sang, but
no, I wouldn't.
I don't think that's right. You know what I mean?
No, not at all.
No, that's the thing. Like, what I love is when we're singing like we'll win it five. We won it 5 times. They can do the stuff with the league titles and that, but when you hear like I don't know, like a Munich or a Hillsborough chant, it's just like, that's horrible. That's one of the most toxic things about it.
But that's not sport, is it? That's
that's the thing. That's
just people being dickheads.
Yeah,
you know, like that's the way it is.
But sorry, back to the game.
Yeah.
I think we'll win 1-0, but I think it'll be a really horrible game. I think we'll get the goal, then they'll come at us. It will ruin their game plan, but it won't be pretty.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it first, boys.
I think we lose.
I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry.
Oh, you bastard!
I'm gonna predict the 1-0 loss. I am. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry.
I was gonna say that, but I thought I'm not gonna do that because
I know, but I'm really sad. But I just hope I'm wrong. That's all I'm gonna say. I hope I'm wrong. But I just think they're so much better than they were last season. And we're better, but we're not. I think they've gone further. They've advanced further than we have, to be honest. Especially in defence. They're very, very tough to score. They score a lot of goals, and they're very tough to score goals against as well. Matic is massive. He could end up bossing this game.
That it was mental, like selling him to your rivals.
Yeah,
No cost.
Pretty much a bargain. 40 million is a bargain. It doesn't matter about his age.
Yeah, so I hope I'm wrong, but I'm really, really sorry. No. I'm really sorry. I don't like doing it, but I'm not that confident. I will admit. I hope I'm wrong. Let me know. Do you think I'm going to be wrong in the comment section below? I hope so, Rez. I really am. Like.
We'll do some sort of poll as well.
Yeah, we'll do a poll at the top.
Right.
That's not what you think.
Yeah. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. Don't forget to like the video as well, and get involved with the social media and all that kind of stuff. Click on the icon. Should be around somewhere to subscribe to the channel. And anything else that I've missed out? No, I think that's about it, isn't it? So confusing, this social media life. Anyway, cool. Fingers crossed. Yeah. Up the Reds. See you later. Bye.